I was having that talk with him about fear this morning. About fear of stuff. I was asking him about skydiving. You know how some people have that fear of sky because he wants to go skydiving.
Me too.
That's what he said in the past, right?
Yes.
He wants to go skydiving. And I'm like, yeah, but no matter what, there's got to be some element of fear to skydiving, right? And I was just telling him, like, for some people, that fear is so paralyzing that they won't do things or they won't make a decision because that fear scares them so much, But then I also told him something that you don't think about is that for parachutes, like this is just a technical thing. Like, you know how I am. I'm a fucking realist. I'm like, I know because I'm in the aviation industry that in order to pack a parachute, you can't just like grab a guy and stuff this backpack with a parachute. There is a process to do it. You have to be a certified like parachute packer. Somebody comes and licenses you. They give you a license that you're certified to pack parachutes. And then somebody comes back and checks your work. So, yeah, there is that fear. But just like everything else, you're going to be okay. I mean, yes, accidents happen. But I told him, I was like, you could leave the house and get hit by a car. That's a reality too. I also explained to him about like when we went to Universal and the roller coasters that we were going on. For him being 11 years old, it's scary. Mm-hmm. And when we went on every single ride, right before you get on the ride or get in the line for the ride, they would have like a demo seat of the ride where you can pull the harnesses down, you can pull the little buckle down and all that. And he would go and sit in every single one of those seats.
Yes.
But, and maybe part of sitting in that seat was because he had a fear. And he wanted to sit in it and feel what it was like. But he knew that you have this height requirement. I have this seat. I feel pretty comfortable in it. I'm probably going to be all right. And then when he did it once, it was easier to get on the next one and easier to get on the next one. But there's people that their only thought is, I'm going to slide out of this fucking seat and I'm going to go flying into the sky. How many times have you seen that at Universal? Probably, I can't think of ever. Because that would probably stand out, right?
Right.
Never. So the fear is irrational.
Right. And it's driven by a thought.
Yeah.
And a lot of, you're right. Like a lot of times people can't get past that fear.
And it's because the only way to get past it is to get out of your comfort zone. Like you have to do it. And maybe it starts with something small, and then you got to work your way up to the bigger and the bigger and the bigger things.
Right. A couple of weeks ago, we had asked Joey to take out the trash to the front yard so that it can be picked up the following morning, right?
Yeah.
And we have this...
and it was nighttime.
Yep. We have this pool vacuum, which scared the shit out of me one evening when you and I were sitting in the backyard.
Yeah.
And it came up out of the water and it sounded like a freaking monster.
It does.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's super loud.
And it's echoing around the pool and the backyard.
Right. Yeah. And so Joey went out there and to take out the trash, and this damn vacuum cleaner, the vacuum came up, made that noise, and scared him so bad that he scared us, like something was going on, right?
Yeah.
And I've never seen fear in my son's eyes
like that. Yeah.
Ever. I mean, so much that it brought, like, I was emotional because of it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, when he was screaming like that, because for me the first thought was like, what is in the backyard?
Right.
And
we do have coyotes out but this way, but
not in the backyard.
Right.
And not like that early in the evening. I mean, if a coyote's coming through the neighborhood, it's usually probably going to be like 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning,
Right.
when nobody's out,
Right.
and it doesn't happen often.
Yes.
Or
And
I
we
don't know.
live in a pretty safe neighborhood, so it's just
Yeah, it's not like, and there's no monsters, So like, it's like, what the hell could it have been?
right. And Miguel was going out, and Joey was so full of fear that something was going to get Miguel as well.
Yeah, he was
right?
screaming like, "Dad, don't go out there! Don't go
Right.
out there!"
And I told Miguel, I'm like, dude, we need to calm him down. Like, just stay in. Like, he was just out of it. And it imprinted fear within him.
Yeah.
And he's been having a difficult time taking out the trash in the evening. And last time you were telling him, dude, take out the trash. Like, I already showed you what it was.
Yeah, because right after it happened, or right when it was happening, like he didn't want me to go outside. So I don't remember if I went and kind of gave him a hug, like tried to calm him down a little bit.
Yes.
But then I was like, I need to go see what the hell that was.
Right.
And I opened the door, and at that point, the vacuum had went back underwater.
Right.
And it's like crickets.
Right.
And it's like, what the hell? What could it have been? And then like I think about it for a split second. I'm like, I know what the hell it was. It was the vacuum. And like I had to like grab him by the hand and tell him like, look, I know what it is. It's not an animal. It's not a monster. It's not none of that stuff. I'm going to show you what it is, and you're with me. Let's go. And we went, I held his hand, and we walked right over. I pulled the vacuum over to the side, and then I put the vacuum right up to the edge, and then I pulled it up slowly, and it started making the noise. Mm-hmm. And he saw what it was, and at that point, I was like, is that the sound that you heard? And he was like, yeah, like I think that's what it was. Because he also got the shit scared out of him so bad that he was running and he fell down.
Right.
Like, you can't even process everything that was happening. He just knows that he
Right,
heard
like
something
his thoughts,
that scared the shit out of him.
Right. And I have never felt fear like that before.
Yeah.
Like, I've never felt fear like that before. I mean, the closest thing was getting into a car accident, but it wasn't fear. I mean, there was adrenaline, but not the way
not fear like that.
Yes, experienced it. And even though Miguel showed him what it was, it still traumatized him.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. And so the other day, you had asked him to take out the trash, and he was really not feeling it. And I was thinking, what is the best way for us to help him get over it? And it's just putting him in that situation where he's overcoming his fear. But I think that instead of like playing it down, because it's not, it's a big thing to him. So instead of playing it down like, Joey, you already know what it is. Joey, go take out the trash. There's nothing out there. It's helping him, like walking with him.
Hold the door open for him.
Yeah, hold the door open for him. Kind of like, Audrey was doing.
Or like a good sister does and shuts the door and locks it while he's outside.
She pissed me off when she did that.
She
did that.
That's what
I
sisters
was so
and brothers,
pissed.
even though that's what they're supposed to do. Like,
I
that's what they
know.
fucking do to each other. She's like, oh, you're fucking scared? Click, click, turn the fucking lights off.
Oh my
You know
gosh.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yes. But I think just walking him through it, like having him go out there and that's it. That's just conquering fear and be like, dude, good job. Good job.
That was a win. That'll be another lesson to lean on, because it's not like he's not going to have a choice. He's got to throw the trash out.
Right.
It's not like he's never throwing trash out again because he got scared.
Right.
Sorry, dude.
But it's helping him through that.
But once he does get through it and he gets used to throwing out the trash, and maybe one time the fucking vacuum will pop up and this time he'll know what it was. Right. You were saying that you've never felt fear like that. And it made me think of something that I've mentioned on here before. But when I was a little kid, we went out to the Sizzler for my birthday. And the Sizzler that we went to ended up getting robbed at gunpoint in New York. And like the dude came in. There was two guys. One guy went to the register. One guy went out to the floor where like all the tables were and people were eating. And he's like, everybody get under, get on the fucking ground or whatever. And just like, yeah, he started yelling. And so we get down under the table. I remember my dad knocking over the table so that we could hide behind it or something. And I remember looking around the side of the table to see what the hell was going on. I don't remember how old I was, but I might have been about his age. And the guy opens up his jacket and pulls out a shotgun. And he like kind of flashes it towards the crowd that was there, which I was part of. In that moment, it looked like the barrel of the gun was like fucking pointed at our table, our face. Like, it's like, this is the moment that you die, you know? And a poor waiter was coming out of the kitchen, didn't even know what the hell was going on. And this dude smashed him in the face with the butt of the shotgun. And I see him go flying over a table. And even in that moment, I don't remember because it was so long ago and I was a kid, but I don't even know if I had that level of fear that he had, that Joey had in that moment.
Yes.
But that event did traumatize me. And the only way that I was able to get over it, because my parent, what's up?
So the trauma that happened that night, how did it affect you? How do you know? Like, I know it's...
I know. Well, that's what I was going to explain is that when I was a kid growing up, I grew up with my dad. Nobody was ever home. I can't say ever, but a lot of times I was left alone and my dad worked evenings, so I was left alone in the evening. And I remember that I got traumatized and we had this apartment where there was like a long hallway and it went like there was rooms like the kitchen and the living room. You could cross on one side and we'll look down the hallway. And then on the other side of the kitchen, like you can look down back the other way. And whenever I would cross and look down that hallway from either side, for a split second, I always kind of saw to myself like somebody else crossing to the other side. You know, like if I was going in the living room, somebody was crossing into the kitchen and they could have came around and popped out in the living room. And it used to scare the shit out of me. And I was alone in the house by myself. So at that time, my dad used to throw parties and we had professional DJ equipment in the house. And my room was right next to the room where we kept all the DJ equipment. So at night, I would turn on all the lights in the house. Every single light in the house, I would turn it on. And I would go to sleep with the lights on and the music blasting to where I couldn't hear almost anything. And that's kind of how I would go to sleep at night because my thought was like I was scared to turn the lights off. But at the same time, if something was going to come murder me at night, I don't want to hear it coming. Like, just fucking kill me. And I would just go to sleep like that.
And how old were you? About Joey's age?
Yeah. I should probably talk to him about that.
How long after did that end? How long did it take you?
I don't remember, but I know I did it for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember if my dad ever talked to me about it. I don't know if anybody ever really talked to me about it. It was just like time. Like eventually enough times you see the guy crossing, but nothing ever fucking happens. And then it's like, maybe there isn't. Maybe it's my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know how long that took. Like I was telling you about the parachute. Like in my story with the place getting robbed and then me seeing, you know, the guy crossing the hallway and all that. I'm pretty sure the only reason that I was able to overcome it is because eventually I rationalized it and I understood. I've seen the guy cross enough times and nothing's ever happened because eventually you start getting the courage to like go pop your head. Oh shit, nothing's there. And then you look the other way. Maybe he went around. No, nothing's there. And you do it enough times that you're like, I don't think there's anything there. You know?
Right.
Kind of like the parachute. But there's some people that cannot get to that point of starting. They're paralyzed by the fear.
Yes.
You have to recognize it, I guess, and then start taking those small steps to try to make sense and see how that fear might be irrational. It might not be exactly what you've made it out to be.
Yeah.
It's not a monster in the backyard.